Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be updating a few convenience features on my 2016 BMW. It's a 535i, and in order to do that, I am going to be using a tool called Bimmercode as well as my phone. I am going to take my Bluetooth adapter out. So this is the V-Peak OBD check BLE, and I'll just plug it into the port, which is down here in the footwell. All right, so I have that plugged in. Now I am going to take my phone out, and one of the first things you want to do, so you want to make sure that your phone is in airplane mode. So I am going to go ahead and click on that. Then I'm going to put the car into accessory mode, so feet off the pedals. Okay. I will turn off the AC and turn off the radio and everything. Let me go into my Bluetooth settings. Let me turn off this Bluetooth because my phone was already connected to the car. All right, so let's go and bring up the Bimmercode application. I'm going to click on connect. It shows the adapter that I have plugged into the car. Then I'll click on connect, and then it's going to try to establish connectivity with the adapter, and it automatically detects that this is a BMW 5 Series. So from there on, I just click on continue. And I'll be showing you how to modify these settings. First, I'll use the regular mode, and then the next time around, I'll use the expert mode for one or two of these features. All right, so we are into all of the different control units that we can update with this tool. So the first thing I'm going to go into is, if you scroll, you can see there's a number of different things you can modify. So we are going to go, and I have my notes here, so you want to make sure you get your notes documented first before you do anything. And what the system also does is, before you change anything, it does a backup of your car's critical systems, so you can restore it if you do screw up. But for now, we're going to go into the car access systems because we are going to set up the auto folding of the mirrors first. And I use this feature a lot. Every time I park, I fold my mirrors, but I manually do it by clicking on the door. There's a button on the door that allows you to fold and unfold. Now I'm doing it automatically, so when I park and I close the car, it would automatically fold the mirror, so I don't have to remember it. So we are going to look for fold and unfold the mirror. So there are two places you have to update first. So this is the first of the two places. So we're going to come here, and it tells you I need to go into in the footwell module in order to update the second part. So we're going to go ahead and click on active, and then we're going to do code. So after you're done, it will restart the car, so don't freak out about that. And then it says coding successful. So now we need to go to the footwell module and do the part 2 of that coding. So not every module is going to have those two, but there are quite a few that will have it, and this is one of it. The folding and unfolding of the mirror is one of those. Okay, so we went into the footwell module. It is reading all of the features that are available on this car. It's going to be different based on the BMW that you have. And we are looking for the mirrors, fold and unfold the mirrors automatically. And it tells you you need to turn on one of two in the car access system, which we've already done. So I am going to activate that and then code it in. It's going to show you the disclaimer. Make sure you don't power off the car, don't power off your phone. Make sure your phone is in airplane mode. And then we do prepare coding. Again, it's going to restart your car. You would hear some beeps, some bongs. Your car might act a little crazy as if it's spazzing out. And then it says coding successful. The next thing I wanted to do was when I go into my settings to see my tires, like to see my tire pressure, I also want to see the temperature of my tires. And to do that, we are going to have to go down to the head unit. Okay, so now that we're in the head unit, control unit, we are going to go down to tire pressure control. And we are going to select display temp and pressure. Right now it only shows the pressure, but I also want to see the temperature as well. So we're going to go back and we're going to code that in. Pay attention to the note. And then hit start coding. Once the coding is done, it's going to do like it's done the past few times. It's going to restart the ECU of the car. You'll hear some beeps, some bongs. The car might act as if it's frazzing out, but once you see coding successful, you're in the game. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to turn on is my indicators in the heads-up display. I like that feature because when you're driving and you have your indicator on, sometimes you can't tell, maybe if you're not looking at your gauges at the current moment. But in your heads-up display, it's going to show the arrows for left and right, depending on your turn. So to turn this on, we have to turn on two things. So the first one is going to be in the instrument cluster control. The second is going to be in the heads-up unit. So we're going to go into instrument cluster. Once that's up, we want to go and look for heads-up display turn signals, 1 of 2. Right now it's not active, so it says you need to turn on 2 of 2 in the head unit control. So I'm turning on this one and I'm going to code it in, and then we're going to go to the heads up. We're going to go to the head unit control and then turn on part 2 of 2. Okay, it says coding successful. This one did reset my time and date, so I have to go in and update that. Okay, so let's go now to the head unit, and then we are going to go down to heads up display, turn signal 2 of 2, make that active, and then code it in. Okay, so it said coding successful. Now, one other issue that I have is whenever I turn the car off and I open the door, my radio is still on, and it only turns off when I lock the car. So to change that, I want to, when I turn the car off and I open the door, I want the radio to stop playing. In order to do that, I need to go into the car access systems module. And then once it loads this module information, we need to look for shut off iDrive when door is opened. Okay, so we are going to look for that. And it's under audio, shut off iDrive when driver door is open. So we're going to make that active. And then we're going to code it in. All right, so the next thing I wanted to code in is when I go into Sport Plus or Sport mode, I want my display unit to automatically show the sports display for the car. So to do that now, I have to go into settings and then I have to click a couple of buttons. There are a number of steps involved. to get there. This way, once I put it in Sport or Sport Plus, it should automatically bring it up on screen, so that way I don't have to manually do it. So we are going to go into the instrument cluster, and I believe we're going to go now into expert mode. So down at the very bottom there is a little link that says expert mode. If you click on it, it says if you use it incorrectly, it might cause problems that would require a reflash. Let's click on continue. And we are looking for combi. So you can use the search function here. So we're going to look for So we're going to look for 3000, which is this first one here. And then we're going to look for SPA Sport Enable. So as you search in the box, it's going to start filtering. And that's already enabled. Okay. Let me get out of sport mode. Let me see what else we have here in sport mode. We want to lock and unlock the door once the car is stopped. So today when I stopped the car and I put it in park, you have to pull on the door handle twice to get out. To do that, let's go into the car access systems. Okay, so I'm going to go click on expert mode, and we are looking for 3000 TC. And then we're going to search for, and I'll put the things that you need to look for in the description below. But we are looking for, let me search for door and see what comes up. Okay, so we're looking for KLR off door. Make sure that is active. And then the second one is we are going to we're going to go back to 3002 CLM, and we are going to look for Auto VR, AUTO VR. So that's the first one. Make sure that one is active as well. Then back all the way out, and then you code it in. And it says coding successful. All right, so time to test this out and see if it works the way that I thought it would. Okay, so let's disconnect. Okay, so we pulled our device. I'm going to put it back in her resting place. I always keep this on me in the car because I have Bimmerlink and Bimmercode on this car. So if anything goes wrong, if there's an error message or anything, I can connect my phone to the car and do some interrogation and figure out what's wrong. All right, so now let's see if this worked. Okay, so now we're going to start testing these things to see if they work. I'm going to close the door, and now I'm going to shut it. And there you go, voila, my mirror folds on its own. I don't have to do it. And if I unlock, it comes down on its own. All right, so now let's hop into the car. I'm gonna turn this car on. And I wanna see if my heads-up display comes up. I need to set my date and time. It reset that. But what I really want to see is if I turn on my indicators, you can see my indicator here in the dash, but you can also see it in the heads-up display. Very convenient. I do want to see if I put it in sport mode, will it bring up my sports display? Let's see. So if I go to Sport Plus, does it do it? So that's the only thing I think it did not do. So let me go back. I think if I go to settings, no, I'd have to go to info and sports display. This is what I want when I press the button, but unfortunately it did not do it. Okay, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over that. What I do want to see though is if I go into vehicle status, now it shows my pressure plus my temperature, which is really, really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna put my car into park and then turn it off, and we'll see if the door automatically unlocks. There it did, it did. So before I'd have to pull it once to unlock it and then a second time to open it. Now it does it with the coding from Bimmercode. So my heads-up display is on, and now I am going to turn the car off. And then I am going to open my door and see if the heads-up display turns off, and it did. So I'll take 4 out of 6, because those were the ones that would annoy me the most. Auto folding the mirror was my most annoying feature, because I use that a lot. Anytime I park, I don't want anyone like hitting the mirror and breaking it off. The temperature of the tires in the heads-up display, showing my indicators in the heads-up display, really, really important. And then turning off the radio when the car is off, really important as well. Subscribe to the channel and like this video, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.